Okay, you guys, welcome to our Take Back the Plate success call. So today is Thursday, the last day of May 31st, and we are so happy to welcome you on. So I'm Tina Salisbury. Melissa is going to do our training for us tonight. But we always like to take the first few minutes to do some recognition and to also just talk about, let you guys talk about what's working, what we're struggling in. So I've got just a couple of questions that we'll talk about and let you guys speak to what we're doing. I think it was really great. Last week we walked away with some really good ideas. I can't remember, Amanda, was it you that was talking about like the tuna fish or the canned chicken or tuna? Okay. Yes, so I did that. I had that yesterday. It just helped. So I took it to the beach. So I put tuna and cottage cheese together. It sounds weird, but it was actually it's really good and a better base than mayonnaise. But thank you, because I was like, I'm working that into my meal plan this week. That's too easy. So it was awesome. So she shared some really good ideas. So I wanted to first just recognize those who rung the bell this week. So you guys, let me show you this really quick, if I can, just so that you can see it. Let me share my screen. Okay, so when you go into our group, and this is the same from your desktop or from your phone, but at the top there's this section that says announcements. So in this announcements, we have information on our success call every week, so you can check in on that, and it's got the call-in information here. And then we have this 2 pounds down. So anytime, right, we're celebrating those little victories to get to that big victory. And anytime that you lose 2 pounds or you're down another 2 pounds, we want you to ring the bell. So you just write a comment in here and you put, I lost 2 pounds, and then also share how many total pounds that you're down so that we can celebrate that every single week. So do that. So again, you'll find that in the announcements. So it's always at the top. There's a top bar that says announcements right here, and that's where you can find that. So do that and celebrate that every single time that you get another 2 pounds down. Okay, so I wanted to just highlight those people who rung the bell this week. So we had Dottie. She rang the bell this week, so she's down a total of 6 pounds. Mary Devaney, she rang the bell twice this week, so she's down a total of 4 pounds. I got to ring the bell this week, down a total of 4 pounds. So congratulations to those guys who rang that bell. And I know that we have some people that are really close and probably people who just aren't ringing the bell yet. So ring the bell, because we want to recognize you here. Also, we're going to start recognizing people for checking in, right? So really the best success for 2B mindset and for weight loss in general is just making sure that you're consistent, right? So our daily check-in that we have every single week is there to help you to stay consistent, right? To help you to do your tracking every day, to weigh in, to do those things, to be looking at what happened the day before, and to constantly be writing this story for yourself, right? So that you have that weight loss Bible, right? After you do this for about 4 weeks, you should be able to look back in that journal and have at least 5 weight loss days that you can now say, okay, I know what a good weight loss day looks like. So that's why checking in every day is so important, because it helps you to look at that data and know how to shift your day or how to do even better the next day as you apply the 2 bunnies into your life, right? So we're going to recognize the top 15 people who check in, and that might grow, because if we have people check in every single day, then obviously those people would be on the leaderboard. So, but I want to just recognize and highlight who those people are today. So we have Mandy Dickinson checked in all 7 days. Dottie also did. Jennifer, myself, all of us checked in 7 days this week. So that's awesome. And then Deb checked in 6 days. Marlene, 6 days. Paula, 6 days. So congratulations. Mary Devaney, 5 days, along with Amanda Sanford, 5 days. Congratulations. And then for 4 days, we had Mary Ellen Heskett, Lori Simmons, and Aaron Huber, which, by the way, Aaron's new and also is camping too with limited Wi-Fi. So awesome job, Aaron. And then 3 days we had Don Flint Hill. And then also checking in this week, we had Stephanie Klein, Sarah Gilbert, and Tiffany Portman. So congratulations, you guys. Again, that consistency is key. And I might have missed 1 or 2 days here or there. If I did, you guys always can correct me and we'll update those. But, you know, congratulations, right? Because showing up is key number 1. Being consistent and making that a habit, these 2 bunnies, is just something that will really help you to continue to refine these into your life, right? It's not going to be perfect. You know, at first, like for me, like tracking it's really hard because I just never had made it a habit. So doing it every day, if I slip off, I just got to tell myself I got tomorrow to get right back to it. And having this daily check-in really helps me because every morning I look at that and am able to kind of evaluate progress. So congratulations to you guys, because all of you on this call are on that leaderboard. And so we'll post that in the group too, so that we have that updated as well. So, okay, let's get some feedback from you guys on how things are going. So I want you to just share with us briefly something that's working for you right now, or what one of your favorite meals have been, or any other tips or discoveries that you've made this week. So just take a minute and just a short minute and just share 1 or 2 things of what that is for you, what that looks like. So Melissa, do you want to start for us? I'll put that in the chat too, so that you guys have that. So again, like what went well this week? What was a discovery that you had? You know, just something that worked, a recipe that you really liked that you can share with the group. Oh, let me unmute you, Melissa. Okay, there you go. I'm like, I see you moving. I don't see you.
Oh, gosh. Recipes, I didn't try any really new big ones, other than I have last time I talked about the chicken salad. So I did the Mediterranean quinoa, which is great for carbohydrates, but it's also got some veggies in it. So it's really, that's a great one that I really love. And I'm a big cheese lover, so I love the feta cheese in it. It's got olives, so definitely check that out. That's a great one. It's on Fixate, but I could post it in the group too. So that's a good one. Gosh, you know, for insight-wise, I think I'm still tracking, you know, like what's going on in my life and how I snack more the times when I have, you know, busier days. And so I'm just sort of grabbing what's available. So I've noticed that I think just from tracking, I've been putting on more weight this week just from that. So I really need to look more at, you know, how can I make my days less busy, you know, or plan a little bit more ahead to accommodate for that and make dinners easier. Because I have these grandiose ideas. I'm going to make a new recipe every night, you know, and so I buy all this stuff, and it's like I need to just keep it a little more simple. You know, this is summertime, and it doesn't have to be a big thing. So I think that I just need to lower my expectations of what, you know, what I can make in realistic amount of time, so that way I'm not eating like late at night and then I'm getting hungry while I'm waiting to eat dinner. And so
Good. So maybe 1 or 2 new recipes a week or something, because sometimes at night too, I mean, or sometimes like you find yourself with just needing a leftover night or something, you know, where you can eat a lot of those extras up. We always end up with at least 1 or 2 of those nights. So then I'm like, no, but that's not on my schedule. So it's nice to kind of leave yourself that flexibility, especially being busy. So that's a great insight. Good recipes shares too. So I'll just go briefly, because I think if you're not using the recipes in Alana's guide, try those, you guys. Some of those are so good. So ones that we've really liked, you know, because we try to, for our family, incorporate more vegetable-based meals at dinner. So the cauliflower fried rice we did last night, it was amazing. Like it was really, really, really good. That one was great. And then the Brussels sprout hash is something that I've really loved, and a couple of my kids really love too. So, you know, those big Brussels sprouts, like I never really loved those, but when they're shaved up, you know, it just kind of changes that texture, and that's really been really nice. So those are a couple. That would be good wins for me, I think, you know, just trying some of those new recipes in the book too. So Amanda, you want to share with us?
Sure. Yeah, I did get a chance to try a couple of the recipes. I tried the Brussels sprouts with bacon, um, and most of my family really liked that. And we added some eggs to it, so there's a little bit of extra protein in there. And then tonight we did the spaghetti squash with turkey meatballs.
Oh, good.
I couldn't get any zucchini, so I substituted this spaghetti squash, and my family chowed down on that. They really liked it, and I liked it too. So
That's awesome.
And then other than that, it's just, I think I shared last week, just having veggies chopped and ready to go so I can just grab them real quick is working really well.
Cool. Good. That really helps because it makes that decision really easy, right? Rather than having to say, okay, I don't have time to spend on this. So perfect. Marlene, how about you?
I haven't tried any of the recipes, but what I did last week, because I worked my 4-day shift out at the coal mine, I cooked a bunch of ground chicken and then put salsa in it and had taco salads for like during the day for my dinners. And then I had vegetables and stuff for my snacks.
That's awesome. Great idea. I love that. Taco salad's really good and yummy and easy too. Good. I love that. Erin, how about you? I know you've got your hands full. Let me see if I can unmute you here. There you go.
For me?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. We're going to fight children.
Yeah. Hi, Tanner.
Sorry. We got one out of the two. But yeah, I've been trying. My issue is I bought a lot for when I went on our trip for the weekend, but then I ran out and I haven't made it to the store yet.
Yep.
But we keep trying. So
good.
Yep, there's the other one.
Hello.
Yep. This is my life. I work 4 10s normally plus these two. So welcome to my fight every day.
Here it is. That's awesome. Good. One other tip I wanted to share that works for me, like just trying to really be dinner and done, is when I get off track, it's usually after dinner, like those late night eating and stuff like that. So after dinner, I try to just go brush my teeth. So like it just kind of is a good like I'm done type thing, right? Because you don't ever want to eat after you brush your teeth, right? So try that. If you struggle with nighttime, that's just kind of a good cue. Like, okay, I'm done eating. I brushed my teeth. And so I wanted to share that because that's really worked really well for me. So good. Okay, we're going to pass the time to Melissa, but I want you to write down one action item that I want you guys to do. Just do it right now, is decide when you're going to go grocery shopping, right? Because it is a struggle when you don't have the food that you need. So I want you to think about and put in your calendar, when are you going to go grocery shopping next? And before you do that, spend a few minutes in that what a good week looks like in your tracker, and just write down some basic meals, even if you have just your dinner meals, right? Because that tends to be where we need the most ideas, or to have kind of the most put together. But spend a few minutes in that tracker between today and tomorrow, and then write down in your calendar when you're going to go shopping. You can put that in the chat. If you know when it's going to be, put that in the chat so you're committed to it. Put it in writing, okay? And that will really help when you make those commitments and make those dates, and you keep those with yourself too. So, okay, Melissa, the floor is yours.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for taking time to be here. I always think it's nice to see everyone, prioritizing themselves and taking time out to just focus on you and finding success. So I just thought I'd start off with a question just to get you guys thinking before we jump into the training. Okay, the first question is, how would your life be different if you didn't have to be consumed about thinking about food? And think about what else might be possible for you. What else might you be able to achieve or concentrate in your life that would bring you joy and satisfaction that you're not currently able to attend to because you're so focused on getting your needs met and worried about, what food to eat next or when you're going to have your next snack. So we plan so much of our life around, is there going to be food at this event, or how long are we going to have to wait before we eat again? I feel like there's such a fixation, on that. And just to give you a little history, we all know, like in our country, that we are suffering with high rates of obesity, and this is for all ages, even starting with, younger kids, just like Alana, how she experienced this, having to go to camps to lose weight at a young age. And so compared to, other countries, we tend to eat, like 5 or 6 meals, and we have a lot of snacks throughout the day. Where other countries, they focus on having 2 or 3 big meals and not so much on snacking. So just looking at, what we're doing here isn't working when we have such high rates, of obesity. So just looking at Alana, actually, I watched a training and she talked about how we're a nation of, snackers. So tell me if this sounds familiar for you or for someone that you know. So it's breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack, snack, snack. Like it just keeps kind of going. And even our kids are this way. I don't know if any of you are guilty of this, but I always seem like I have snacks that I have available for them. But sometimes what ends up happening is we're giving so much snacks to them, right, that by the time they get to their actual meal, when we want to feed them with the good nutrients they need, then they're not so hungry because they've kind of filled up already on the snacks. And so I think like as adults, we can do that too. We can fill up easily on, like sugary drinks or coffee or snacks. And then when it comes time to do the big meals, like to get our protein and, vegetable, all that, we don't have as much of a hunger, so we don't eat as much, and then we're hungry again later. So because snacks just, feed like a temporary satisfaction, but it's not as long as, like a big satisfying meal. So I think that what ends up happening is that we tend to fixate on, the next thing, and all day long we can be focused on that, and then, miss out on the freedom of like this program where, we can really be intentional about planning our meals, and then we fill up, we do, like she talks about, the dinner and done, like we talked about, and then plating our dinner, right? So one thing that Alana mentioned in this training was that it's the between the meals time that our bodies need to burn fat as fuel. So, if we are like grazing throughout the day, right, then our bodies aren't getting that in between time to really do what they're designed to do, which is to burn off what we're eating in a healthy way. It kind of confuses our body. So, and I'm going to refer to this because it gets kind of technical, but really, when we think of like fasting, sometimes we think of that as being when people like don't eat or like starve themselves for a long period of time. But really, fasting can be even short intermittent fasting, like the couple of hours between meals, or like at nighttime, right? When we focus on getting our dinner in early and then we go to bed, we have like a whole, 12 hours to let our bodies renew and to burn off that fat. And so really looking at how can we increase the amount of time, between meals, and also looking at the dinner and done, if we can make our goal to have dinner, 3 hours before we go to bed, then that allows more time. Does everyone have like a set kind of dinner time that they eat now? I'm just curious, like, is there kind of a set time, or does it fluctuate a lot throughout the week?
Mine fluctuates.
Yeah.
Because I don't get off work till 7 o'clock at night. By the time I get home, it's about 7:30. So, and then like if I'm working nights, I go to work at 5:30 and am there till 7 o'clock in the morning.
So do you have much time between when you eat dinner and bedtime then for you, or is it pretty close together?
It's close together because by the time I get home, and if I eat something, then I'm usually in bed by 9:30 at the latest. So that's tough.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing, is it is hard. And it's hard to, you know, and I think the goal is to aim for that, you know, to aim to give your body time off, you know, the earlier you can eat, and then that way you can give your body the more hours to burn, the better before you know, eat breakfast the next day. To just be conscious of it and to aim for that, and really just to give yourself some time in between, because the benefits to that are huge for weight loss and just for overall functioning. So a lot of talks about if you could really focus on two things. I mean, obviously they're all important, but really looking at, you know, plating the dinner and getting that prepared, you know, at a decent time, you know, hour, and then being able to operate from a dinner and done mindset to allow for that time. And so that will allow us to get better results, because our bodies will be able to have more time to function with that. So one thing they do talk about too is this enables the insulin to fall to a baseline if you're able to do a 12-hour fast. So if you're able to, say, finish eating dinner at 6:30 or 7, and then be able to the next morning, you know, eat breakfast, you know, 6:30, 7. It does mention that people that have, you know, type 2 diabetes should check with their doctor before doing that, because that could affect different things with their blood sugar. But overall, this could be something that we can try to aim for. And so looking at shortcuts to being able to get dinner on the table, and we talked a little bit about that, you know, planning ahead and doing like grocery shopping, and really making sure that you have like the items prepared that you can pull out. You know, I think it was maybe the week before, maybe 2 weeks ago, where Tina, you talked about, what do you see when you look at your fridge? Did you pull it out? Can you pull out, you know, snacks, or can you pull out things that are healthy? But I also think looking at what we can cut up ahead of time to add to our dinner, or add to the casserole, or, you know, having a bunch of meat that we prepare. If we're, you know, if you eat meat, then being able to prepare that so you can add it to salads, or just making a big batch of that, and having, you know, backups for dinner. Like, I know at our house, like if we're not able to prepare a big meal, it's like we have breakfast for dinner. We have like a big omelet. So a lot of times I'll have cut up veggies from the beginning of the week that I can just throw into the omelet, which is nice. It makes it quick and done, so I don't have to wait a long time to eat. Or we do like frozen, you know, like chicken or like salmon fillets, and then we'll just put it in the oven and then just throw it over a salad and, you know, add our accessories. So I think that will help to make it the goal, you know, to eat dinner, you know, earlier, and then like shut down the kitchen, right? Like doing that, so you're not constantly tempted to snack, so you can actually get all of your nutrients in on the meal time. Does anyone feel like they are kind of preoccupied with food throughout the day? I mean, is that like a struggle? Do you feel like it takes up more time from other things? Does anyone struggle with that?
I know I've struggled with that, especially as I try to eat more smaller meals. So when I did go to more of a style this past year of just eating like 3 bigger meals, and then I would occasionally grab a small snack if I needed it. That's worked much better, because it just doesn't, I mean, eating every 2 hours that's not very, you know, much time in between that, you know? Yeah. So I always felt like I was thinking about food or needing to prepare what was next. And, you know, it seems to take a lot of time, and just, I found myself eating more and being, you know, in that mode of feeling like I needed to eat all the time when I was eating more often. So I don't think that's bad. You know, some people I think you just got to find what style works for you and what fits into your lifestyle. I don't think only eating 3 meals or not eating snacks is a bad thing. I think it's different for different people. But I did find just that, what she's talking about. And, you know, and like I said, it's just the dinner and done, I think, is so crucial for me. So I've just kind of adopted a rule to shut down the kitchen at 7:30, and I try very rarely to break that because if I do, especially if I'm up like trying to work on something late, you know, and you just get stressed or anxious or bored and you want to eat something, I don't grab the good stuff. So
yeah, and that's the thing. It's tempting to just keep eating because but I think that if you're able to, like I said, you get your nutrients throughout the day, then you're able to just let it go by after dinner, and then be able to have that extra time, you know, to yourself, to renew yourself before you're, you know, up the next morning, getting some time to really focus on the things that are going to make you happier. So I think that, just from the people I've talked with in the group and just in general, even people that aren't in the group, it does seem like there's this fixation just on food and what to eat, when to eat it. And just, I'm so happy that we have this program that's going to give us freedom to be able to get the tools to use it. So we're not constantly consumed with it. I mean, I was just at the store yesterday and this gal was, getting some workout clothes and talking about, well, I probably won't even work out. I'll just go home and eat my chips and dip. And I'll just, she was already like proclaiming that she was going to fail at stuff. And then it's like, we talk about it so much in that mindset, and this is a great one because it's positive and we can really focus on things we can change and what we tell ourselves, right? I just feel bad for the people that haven't been able to find this yet, because they're so worried about it constantly. So.
Oh, I love that in the tracker. Don't you, like, writing your intention for the day at the very top of that? Like, I love that we can choose, what we're going to let our day be about, So I really like just creating that positive affirmation for myself, at the top of that page every day.
Yeah, I agree. Well, that's kind of the main part of what I wanted to share, is just looking at how can we change the mindset of what we're thinking about with food, and just to be able to kind of simplify it so we can, get on to other things, right? Use food as fuel to satisfy our needs, but then to not use it for everything, not to use it for like comfort and other things that we're focusing on it constantly, so we can enjoy the people around us and enjoy, the different blessings that we have in our life. So that's hopefully helpful for some of you. Does anyone have anything that they've heard that's, as far as their life being different if they don't have to think about food constantly? Is there something that, you feel like you'd be able to achieve if you were able to really get this, which I know you will, like get the mindset and have success at this? What would that mean for your life? And just kind of dreaming big on that, and what would that look like, and how can you use it, the energy you were previously using on being, stressed out or feeling worried or feeling like ashamed when you put pounds on, or you felt like you overindulged, like now you have that freedom. It's like you can free that up to use that energy somewhere else. It's just a neat way to look at it.
So what would that be for you guys? Would anyone be brave to share that?
No.
What do you think?
Well, I think not having to worry about constantly, having to have the food and stuff, and trying to figure out how to reward like my grandkids with things other than food, because that's what I've always done. You do a good job, I take you for an ice cream cone. You do this and I take you for, something at the store or something like that. So I think that instead of, giving them food, taking them swimming or taking them to a park, or, getting out and doing stuff like that. That's what I try to achieve, with my grandkids.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's setting up success for them later. I mean, just so they don't get trained to think that they have to get like a food item in order to feel good. That's great. They get the experience.
What do you think, Amanda? Like, what's it already? You're probably saving a ton of time just with the prep and stuff like that, and probably feeling better, losing. I mean, you lost over 6 pounds. Like, what has it been for your life?
Yeah, I've been feeling better, which is huge because I have RA. And so, anywhere where I can gain some energy back is really nice. And then also I noticed, I was really shy as a kid, and I got into this habit at parties and functions of just sitting there and eating, because then I didn't have to talk to anybody, which I'm not really that shy anymore. It's just a habit. And I noticed that when we went to the soccer barbecue, because I ate and I was done and I chose healthy stuff and I was good, I had a lot more time to visit, and that was really nice.
Great.
Like at the lake with my girls the other day. And we were done, and then I was out swimming with them. So
Yeah.
Aw, that's wonderful.
Good. Love it. Really great things. Erin, anything you want to share as far as dreaming big about that? Just having more time in your life?
Yeah, having more time would be nice. And then once we get potty training, then we don't have to do food. We can try something else, stickers or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's huge. Like trying to teach us to not have that reward, of food. Because Marlene, I know I grew up with that too, right? And I've done that to my kids. I catch myself doing that now. I'm like, gosh, I wonder what I can replace that with, and it will just be so much nicer to just feel like we eat so we can have that energy and then we move forward to do the activities and stuff. I think that's huge. So good. But to share those things, that we're finding are successful with that, because I think that's always a struggle for sure. So.
Well, I think we set up our kids and our grandkids for a positive outlook as far as food goes, so they don't have to feel this trapment that we feel.
Yeah.
That, that they can at an early age learn that it's not an entrapment that they have to have.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's very true. Great. Really good topic, Melissa. That's awesome. For sure.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm having a little trouble, judging portions. I'll go back and look at my tracker and go, how much was that? Just what are you guys doing to judge portions? How much of a veggie or how much of, I don't know, stuff that you can't count. Like you can count chips or whatever, but you can't count how much lettuce you're eating,
Mm-hmm. So one thing that I try to do that works a little bit better is to use the smaller plate sizes, right? Instead of the big dinner plates, use kind of more of the salad plate, and then just kind of use those portions. 25% was salad, or 50% or 75%. I think that works, has worked a little bit better, but definitely trying to find items to eat that we can quantify a little bit better is what Alana suggests, right? So instead of just, I had a piece of chicken, I had one chicken breast, or I had one chicken thigh, something where we can kind of use those measurements a little bit better. So I think if you can kind of use the plate it method, and then, I was thinking that this week, I'm like, I wonder, if people are playing with that with their portions, just using different plate sizes, because that's, I started just using our regular big dinner plates, and I'm like, I'm not going to fill that with 75% food. It would be way too much food, right?
Yeah.
So using the smaller one, not only is it helping me gauge my portions better, because, it kind of is pretty true to the percentages, but, it helps you feel good too. If you can fill up the whole plate, you feel like you're really getting a really big meal and really satisfied. So that's something that's kind of working for me, to do that.
So are you writing that on your tracker?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I write 25%, quinoa salad, and 25%, chicken breast. So, but if it's more quantifiable, Amanda, if it's, I had a little snack pack of holy guacamole, I would just write trying to find stuff that's kind of individually packaged is helpful sometimes to be able to help that too. Another thing that I use for breakfast and lunch is those bento boxes. Have you seen those bento boxes? I'll post it in the group and I'll send it to you. But so that's basically a box that has a bigger portion and it has two smaller portion areas in it. So, and then, so I use that because it kind of portions it out pretty perfectly. I use the big portion, the bigger container part for 50% veggies, and then each smaller portion for carbs and for the protein. So I put a lot of my leftovers and stuff in that for lunch. So it's really easy to pull out of the fridge. You can microwave them, dishwasher safe, like, and it's just already put together for you. So bento boxes, that's another really good portion, easy thing that's really helped me because it's pretty, it's laid out really easily. So I'll post that in the group so that you can see what they look like. So I just bought mine on Amazon. So they're pretty inexpensive. So anyone else have any tips for portions? That's a really, really good question. So.
Okay, I have a question. I'm getting ready to go on my graveyard starting tomorrow. So how do I do this in my tracker? I mean, I can't, if I get up and eat breakfast and then have a lunch and then, then have my supper, I usually don't eat until like 2 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. So how do I change this around from days to nights?
Yeah. Melissa, do you have any advice?
You mean for the fasting part for nighttime?
Well, no.
Just how to track her meals, like the breakfast, lunch, dinner, because her schedule is going to be opposite of a day of what you eat in the day, right? Your times that you eat are going to be different.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't had that question come up. I'd have to think about that. If you'd have to, so you're still planning to do breakfast it wouldn't be morning for you, I guess.
Yeah. See, like I'll get up in the morning and I could have breakfast, but then I don't really want to have lunch until, say like 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of time span from breakfast to lunch.
I would just suggest, Marlene, that you adjust your day because it's different, right? Like, so maybe you note in your tracker that, night shift, what days you work night shift and day shift, but you can still do that. I think just, your day is going to be different than what we look at as a typical day, but it's still a day for you, right? So if you're working a night shift and breakfast for you happens at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and lunch happens at 6 or 7 and, dinner happens in the middle of the night for you, like, I think that's good. And, so just note those, maybe write the times that you eat next to the meals and then just track it and see, right? Go back and see if it works for you. And if it's not working, you can make adjustments to maybe what times you eat and things like that. So, but we have a few people in the group that are working night shifts. So reach out in there with questions and post those, and you guys can connect too. Cause I know I've got a couple people that are working night shifts, and it's harder just because we don't typically look at days like that.